Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. Thanks for coming back. Let's go ahead and see what we can see for the week of January 19th to the 25th. Everything is time-stamped in the description box below. But first, let's see what that universal message is. Ten of Swords. So something's coming to an end here. Queen of Cups, and we know it. And perhaps it's this idea that we're ripping the Band-Aid off of something. That's kind of what it feels like. We're just doing it. We're just getting it done. And perhaps for a lot of the signs, we were really thinking this up in our head. And now that we're doing it, we feel good about it. And maybe that ending isn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, right? To see how this energy impacts you, go ahead and meet me at your sign, and we will get started there. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you at your sign. Aries, hello. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. Show me, Aries. Alrighty. We have the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles, and then that Nine of Cups in the shadow, which is really nice to see. Seems like you're walking into a place where you're putting yourself first, your security, your abundance, your enjoyment and satisfaction, which feels really lovely, right? And the energy that you're showing on the outside definitely matches that energy that you are feeling on the inside. All right, let's get some clarifiers. Ooh, Ace of Wands, Page of Swords, Nothing wanted to fly out. Okay. Okay. Can you see them all? Barely. All right. Ace of Wands, Page of Swords, the Empress, Six of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Chariot, the Star, and then, of course, it wouldn't be an Aries reading without that Five of Wands in showing up somewhere. Just taking a peek in your shadows. Chariot. Yeah, there's definitely a shift happening here, Aries. That much is clear. And it does feel like you're putting yourself first. And definitely showing up different. Showing up from a way that you feel more intentional about. You feel more geared towards or wanting to go. Like you're being intentional about where you're heading into, right? And perhaps it took that Ten of Swords, right? That ending, that ripping off the Band-Aid in order to get to a place where you can put yourself first and start to be happy where you are, right? And celebrate where you are. Celebrate those wins, but like really truly feel them and embrace them in a way that perhaps you haven't allowed yourself to previously, right? Kind of sitting in that moment and enjoying, wow, I did this. I made this happen. It was me, right? It's me. I am the doer, right? Because you're the doer of the tarot. You get things done. You're the original initiator, right? And so just taking time to enjoy that really does feel quite lovely. And we do have that Chariot coming through again, Two of Swords here. So definitely staying consistent The other thing I will say, kind of speaking on that Ace of Wands energy, right? That's your ace, that's your element. So perhaps feeling reignited. There could be a surge of energy for you, Aries, this week, but really trying to be intentional about what you're doing and being intentional about being in the moment. It really does feel like that, and enjoying it, right? Yeah, lovely, lovely. And whatever you've kind of kicked out of here, you said, I'm done with it. Being intentional about how you move forward, right? Where you're moving, and perhaps just staying in the moment a little bit longer, lingering there with intention before you decide where to direct that energy, that resurgence of that lovely fire energy that you have. Okay, Aries, short, sweet, and to the point. I hope this helps you gain clarity on your week ahead. We'll see you next time. You take care. Leo, hello. How you doing? Let's get right into it and see what we can see for the week of the 19th for you. That's too many. All right. So yeah, definitely putting something to rest here, huh? And really working hard at getting a new perspective or some new insight here, and stopping and thinking on that, working hard to figure out perhaps what that new insight should be, right? Oh yeah, you are in your head, right? Trying to make the most of this ace. Perhaps you're even trying, for some of you Leos out there, you're trying to manifest this ace into reality here. Really trying hard. What is the best perspective? How can I see this differently? Nope. Let's see what else for Leo. Perfect. All right. Okay, we've got the Two of Cups, the Star, Ten of Swords, right? Chariot, King of Wands, Five of Wands, and Hermit energy. Just checking in our shadows. Yeah. It seems something was really giving you a hard time here. And hopefully that energy is on its way out, right? It could even be that you're trying to, this Ten of Swords hasn't yet come. This ending hasn't yet happened. You're trying hard to make it happen and, in essence, manifest a new way of thinking, right? Manifest this ace into being. That really feels like that rings true for you, Leo. Putting an end to something, right? That with this Two of Cups and this Star here together, it feels like whatever this was, it meant a lot to you, which is why we're finding it so hard to let it go. But it feels like the more you sit and think on it, the more you realize that it's not working in the way that you wanted it to. And so you are being very intentional about taking control, moving forward, moving on, right? And it's clear this is your path with that Hermit energy. Only you can do this, right? Only you can make this ending happen, this new beginning happen, and move forward in the way that is the way that you're supposed to head into, right? The idea of that King of Wands, the idea of you, Leo, being the best person, the best version of yourself that you can, and maneuvering, right? Showing up that way. How can you do that? And it feels like you've realized that whatever we're speaking on here, whatever the board is showing, you can no longer be your best version of who you want to be with whatever this kind of Ten of Swords is that's lingering, right? And so, yeah, it definitely feels like we're sitting in this trying to, it's almost like you don't want to end this without having something lined up, ready to take its place, which is smart, right? You're hard at work. You're being methodical about it. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you're walking away from it. King of Pentacles. Success will be coming, right? This is better for you in the long run. And I think, Leo, you realize that. And if you don't realize that, this is your sign that you're moving on to bigger and better things. It might not look like it right away with that Five of Pentacles showing up. It feels like you're lacking. Feels like you're stepping into a space of less than. But that abundance is coming for you. That much is clear. Okay? Leo, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you next time. Sagittarius, hello. Let's jump right in and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. You know what's funny? I was like, ooh, that Five of Swords is really creeping out, wants to come out. And guess what jumped out? So we have that Five of Swords here and the Ten of Wands in the shadow. Yeah, so definitely some ending trying to come through for you as well here. And I'm getting triggered. We're feeling triggered is the word that's popping through for you this week. Let's get some clarifiers. Okay. Chariot has been showing up for all the fire signs. So this idea of being intentional. 2, 4. And one more card for Sagittarius, please. Thank you. Yeah. So I am getting this idea of wanting to move on. That's what I'm seeing in your shadow here. Definitely wanting to move on here, move forward. So facilitating an ending, right? Feeling triggered on it, but it feels like Sagittarius, when you stop and reflect, you realize that trigger and you work through it, right? You don't let it amp you up in a way. It could even be that you're easily triggered heading into this week, so it takes more, a little bit more time to ground you and be intentional in where you're placing your energy and how you're maneuvering, right? Yeah, so some ending trying to come through for you here. Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Pentacles, the Chariot, Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So again, this idea of we are letting something go. Two of Swords, what is taking its place? We're sitting here in the moment, just letting this linger a little bit here. There's an element. Ace of Wands is your ace, Sagittarius. So feeling fired up, it makes sense. There's an element here of being quick to that kind of anger temperament, right? Or that feeling of we're feeling fired up and it's getting us a little hyped, a little amped, right? But again, I see that you're being mindful of that here. It could be that something for you, Sagittarius, kind of ended unexpectedly here, kind of an anticlimactic end, but you're rolling with it. You're rolling through it and you're kind of saying, okay, well, this makes room for something else and we're going to make this happen. We're going to be intentional about what we're doing here, right? Moving forward from a good heart space, which is really lovely to see. And you're really not holding a grudge on whatever's happening here. You're not holding on to anything that no longer serves you, which is really nice to see. So once this is gone, it's gone. And you're sitting there for a moment trying to figure out how best to continue on. And that just popped right out. Knight of Pentacles, right? Queen of Swords. So you've got the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords here. So you're definitely in that feminine energy. You're thinking, you're being strategic, you're being analytical, right? So even if you are feeling a little bit emotional one way or the other, or feeling a little bit worked up, you're really not letting that influence you so much. You're being reasonable here and listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, using your discernment of how best to strategize and move forward, especially with that Knight of Pentacles, right? You're taking in everything before you make your next step after the universe has closed out this chapter for you. You look beautiful, Sagittarius, as always, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure reading for you. We'll see you next time. You take care. Capricorn, hello. Let's get right into it and see what we can see. Oh, that was quick. The Moon and the Ace of Cups. Interesting. Two of Pentacles here. So something's ending and we're scared about a new beginning, or scared about diving into our emotions for some reason. For some of you, I would also say maybe even afraid of like being happy or getting excited about whatever's showing up here. Guarded. Let's get some clarifiers. Yeah. On the fence, I would say, is a good way to sum that up. And your shadow is coming right into your clarifiers. Let's get some more for Capricorn. I don't like that. All right, so that Ten of Swords is definitely, there's, interesting. Guarded, on the fence. There's an ending happening, bittersweet, maybe, is what I'm feeling here. But either way, we're tentative about what's next. We're tentative to opening ourselves up to this new opportunity or any new opportunity, right? There's some fear here for sure. And I see that coming through. Seven of Wands, Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Page of Cups, Nine of Cups in the reverse, Temperance in the reverse, and the Four of Cups. So a lot of cup energy, not really seeing a lot of that earth energy for you, Capricorn. This Page of Cups is bringing this energy, right? And so it feels like, of course, I have to say that there might be somebody here who is trying to tempt you or convince you to do something that you know isn't right, or convince you to lean into something maybe a bit too hard. More likely, this Page of Cups, it feels like you're scared, and so that fear or that tentative is coloring some sort of gift or some sort of person, some interaction here. It feels like we're thinking the worst because we're so guarded. So we want to explore, we want to enjoy, but we're guarded, all right? And we're not really sure of how we should be connecting. What we do know is that we've closed the chapter on something else and we're on the fence about what's next. Alrighty, Capricorn? Let's see here. What have we got? The Lovers. Oh, that's lovely. The Lovers and the Sun. That feels like a nice reassurance here of, you know, connect with the people that are your lovers, your soul bond connections, right? That doesn't have to be a love ship as depicted here, but just connect with your people, right? When we're feeling fear or insecure or guarded on the fence, you know, we look for reassurance from our loved ones. Maybe you need a hug, Capricorn, right? The Sun, everything's becoming clear, or everything will be becoming clear, and you'll be figuring it out, right? But whatever you're doing with your best intention, and that's what matters. Capricorn, thank you so much for stopping by. I always enjoy reading for you, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Taurus, hello. Let's jump right in and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. Cards are jumpy today. There we are. The World. Alrighty. So I'm getting exhausted in my here, you're feeling exhausted, right? Especially with that Nine of Wands popping up in your shadow here. Something's coming to an end. It feels like this is the final push, the final push, the final push of something, right? Especially with that World showing up. It feels monumental, right? There's this Ten of Swords ending. Whatever's ending for you is happening. It's in a big way. It's a major way. This feels like the final push, and you're aware of that, especially with Queen of Cups showing up for you, Taurus, okay? So feels like whatever we're getting ready to clear here, that chapter is closing soon, and you know that. Let's get some, oh, whoa, okay, all right. There you are. And one more, please, for Taurus. Let's get it. 2, 4, 6. Oh, no, we have enough. You're like, what are you saying? You have 7. All right. Yes. So just looking in your shadow here, you're very aware of whatever you are ending here, you're putting behind you. You're very aware, like the time has come, and you know that, right? Perhaps even for some of you, you're stepping into a new lovers, like a new karmic connection, soul bond connection here, or whatever is ending could be reigniting that connection to somebody else. All right, that is a karmic connection for you. Into your clarifiers, Taurus, we have that Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, the Moon energy, King of Pentacles, Hierophant, you, Ace of Cups, and the Chariot. Whatever you're putting to bed here is definitely reinvigorating you in some new way. So literally for you, Taurus, one door closes, another door opens. This feels like letting go of something from an intellectual perspective here. So you could be changing perspective or finally putting something to rest, but taking up something that you feel more emotionally connected to. And it's almost like we need to cut the cord on the last piece of whatever this is that was paining us or limiting us, so that we could pick up this beautiful Ace of Cups here. That is something that I see you very profoundly connected to, and could even bring some success, right? Either way, you feel the best version of yourself. You feel the potential, I should say, of the best version of yourself when you see this Ace of Cups opportunity here. Chariot popping up to keep it consistent, right? To take clear, decisive, measured steps into the direction of where you want to be. And it feels like you want to be wherever this connection is felt for you. Okay? Beautiful. Very lovely. And it really does feel like we're entering that final push, Taurus. 7 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles here. Perhaps you're starting something new, right? A new place or a renewed sense of feeling lighter, right? We just have to drop that weight. We have to figure out what no longer fits, click it to an end, close that door, close that check, close the book, okay? On whatever this is. And once you do that, it definitely feels like things will clear up for you. At least energetically, I feel like it's stuffy where you are. It feels stuffy. And so we got to work on clearing that out. And that's exactly what you're doing. The final push is here, Taurus. You've got this, okay? Thank you so much for stepping by. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. You take care. Virgo, hello. Let's jump right in and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. Keep this one. Let's see. Alrighty. 9 of Swords and then 7 of Pentacles in the shadow. So similar to Taurus here, and actually for all of the earth signs, it does feel like this ending is coming, but we're not quite there yet, right? We're not quite there yet. How do we finish this off here? And this feels like it's kind of taking a toll on you, Virgo. I wonder if you're overthinking this. Yeah, with that 9 of Swords. Are you losing sleep over this? I'm wondering. No, that felt right. Wheel of Fortune, like things are upside down, a little topsy-turvy maybe this week for you here. And it's really hard for you to keep consistent is what I'm hearing. Ah, that was too many. Let's get some clear and concise clarifiers for Virgo, please. Thank you. One more. Thank you. That's lovely. All right, there you are popping up in your shadow. And you are popping up here with that 9 of Pentacles as well. Just checking in your shadow. Yeah, it's like you know the way. You know the path forward. It's just a matter of doing it, it feels like. It's just a matter of going out and making that happen. I'm wondering if, for whatever reason here, we're delaying this ending for some reason, Virgo, or if you're putting it like overthinking it. You might be overthinking this ending. 9 of Swords, Knight of Wands, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Chariot, 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, 4 of Wands here. Yeah, you might be overthinking this ending, feeling like the world is upside down. That's kind of what I got when this Wheel of Fortune card came out. Everything's all topsy-turvy. You can't really find your footing here. Chariot, it's really hard to stay consistent and stay present, stay focused on who you want to be, the best version of yourself. You're saying it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me here. It's especially challenging, whatever this loop is that we're trying to close. And you're feeling it, right? But you're sticking on your path. That's the important thing. You're showing up. You're being intentional. You're being mindful. And it's almost like we want to stick to what we believe in. We want to stick to our core values, our foundations, our principles. How do we do that within this current situation that you're showing me on this board, right? And that's what you have to figure out. So the ending is coming. That card really flew. The ending is coming. It's just a matter of you, I feel, believing in yourself, right? And standing true to yourself. Let me find that card that flew. 1 second. It went like under. It's funny. Anyway, final thoughts here. We have the 7 of Cups and the Queen of Cups, right? So that Queen of Cups coming out to say, you know the way. You know the way through this. You know what you have to do. 9 of Wands, it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's burdensome. It's heavy. Whatever it is you're showing up here. Any confusion, if you sit with yourself, maybe try meditation this week, Virgo, because the path has already revealed itself to you. You just need to uncover what that is. Uncover that answer, right? Feels like you're overthinking it a little bit. All right. That's what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. We'll see you next time, okay? You take care. Libra, hello. Let's get right into it and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. Is that 2? Yeah. The Fool and Strength. All right, so it takes great courage to walk away from this. Perhaps the ending has happened, or you're really trying to keep whatever this is, whatever this this loop is from closing. And it takes great courage to jump, great courage to walk away. 2 of Cups in your shadow. There's a great opportunity available for you. Business opportunity, something that you feel a strong emotional connection to. That is going to come out of this, Libra. It's coming. You just have to stand in your truth. Interesting. Let's get some clarifiers here. I feel like the cards are getting confused. There we go. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so that 10 of Swords really, something's trying to end for you. Some loop is trying to close for you. And once you walk away, there's great strength in that, okay? So just remember that, Libra. 9 of Cups in the reverse, 8 of Cups, Page of Wands, 2 of Wands in the reverse, Page of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups. You've been unsatisfied with something and we're moving away from that. This ending, it could be even a line of thinking or a way of a frame of mind that you could be walking away from or moving away from. And that's why it takes great strength to see anything that we are struggling with and to do some personal development, right? Move forward in that vein. So it could be that for some of you Libras out there, okay? But either way, there's some sort of feeling of discontent that you're moving away from, and that this 10 of Swords ending is trying to close the chapter on for you. It requires great strength and standing for some of you even on your own, right? Standing alone. Maybe you are an island of one, and that's a little bit of it, that takes a little bit of getting used to here, okay? You're stepping into something new, something a little bit more heart-centered, heart-focused here. And I do see this, whatever this new thing is that we're stepping into, being quite beautiful of an opportunity for you, and being very heart-focused, heart-centered here. You want to be in the moment, right? I don't really see you sitting too long on anything here. This could be quick thinking, impulsive thinking of what we're... Perhaps you just have gotten to a point where you're trying to delay, and the end is almost impulsive, the ending of this, right? Just a quick action, a quick sentence, a quick cut, all right, is what I'm seeing here. And then just being very present in the moment once that happens, committing to that end once it presents itself to you, or once you make it happen, Libra. Okay, but either way, where you're headed next looks beautiful. The potential is there. I can see that for sure. We have that 3 of Wands and that Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's an opportunity. You're open, right? Perhaps more open than you have been in past here. And, you know, I really think you see the potential here, whereas perhaps before you didn't. King of Cups, yeah, strong emotional connection here is what I'm seeing. And it, like I said, I'm not really saying that it's to a person in like a partnership, right? A lover, a business connection, a professional connection that you feel strongly aligned to, strongly that it is meant for you. Okay, Libra, this is what I have for you. You're stepping into your time. You just have to let this loop close out, right? And it looks like you're doing that. So beautiful week ahead for you. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next week. You take care. Aquarius, hello. Let's jump right into the week. Alrighty. Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant. All right. Taking the conservative route is what I'm hearing here. Playing it safe. Okay. Strategizing. Playing the long game. Okay. Aquarius, let's get some clarifiers. I'm hearing somebody's got their eye on you here. And I think you know that. Thank you. There's a whole lot going on between 7 and 8, between one step to the next. Interesting. Alrighty. Seven of Swords, Two of Wands, the Magician, King of Swords, Empress, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Feels like a giant leap between one step where you are right now to the next, and something has to close out before we can move to that next. And I feel like that's what we're trying to figure out here. There's a lot of chatter going on and a lot of things that feel like are distracting you from staying on task or on progress here. But with whatever we're doing, we need to stay methodical and keep it conservative, right? This is not a time to be, we want to be risk averse with whatever we're doing here. That's what I'm seeing for you, okay? And yeah, I think you're aware that somebody's watching you. Somebody doesn't have your best interest at heart here. And it could even be that you're trying to navigate a situation between this person. How do we continue interacting with them knowing what we know about them? And you seem to be rising to the occasion and doing everything within you to not let them see you sweat, but also not let them get you down or discouraged here. You're playing chess is what I'm seeing, and you're always doing that. But this is a new game. This is like a level up is what I'm seeing and feeling here for you. Okay, Aquarius? This feels like a very long week, a very intellectual week for you. Yeah, the Tower, King of Wands. Not surprised to see that Tower here. Ace of Wands. Hopefully this Tower is shaking up this person's energy here, because that's not ideal. And I think you recognize that. It's a strain as opposed to helping you. But it does feel like however you interact with this person, it's not like they're going anywhere. You're definitely not going anywhere. So what do we want to present to this person? And you're trying to be very intentional about that, right? Trying to direct your energy in a very precise way. Like I said, you're playing chess this week, Aquarius. It's the same board, same pieces, just a different environment here for you, right? A different stage that we've entered in here too. Once this closes, this Ten of Swords, it's almost like we need to figure out our once you figure out your strategy, you'll be fine. Okay? That's what I have for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. And you have a great week. We'll see you next time. You take care. Gemini, hello. Let's get right into it. Ooh, okay. All right, Queen of Pentacles and the Hermit here. You know what's next, is what I heard. You know what's next. You know what you have to do here. Yeah, I'm sensing this is like a call to action week for you, Gemini, okay? You know what's next. You know what you have to do. Interesting. Let's get some clarifiers. Nothing wants to come out. Let's get some clarifiers for Gemini, please. Yeah. It's almost like we want to delay this ending. We don't want to do it. We don't want to, for some of you, you don't want to be the bad guy. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Let's rinse it up. One more for Gemini, please. Thank you. I'm surprised that death card didn't show up. I was really thinking it was going to. But you got some good cards anyway here. Alrighty, we've got that Seven of Wands, the World, Strength, Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, Eight of Wands, King of Cups. Before I speak on that, I am just going to grab my handy dandy just to see 2 8s. New knowledge. All right, so perhaps some new knowledge is coming your way that is going to help you do what you need to do and help you stop kind of delaying this inevitable, which is definitely the vibe that I'm getting here, right? We're trying to block this ending. We're trying to block this major loop from closing here. But once it does, it does. Great strength, right? Standing in your own. You, Libra kind of had this as well, kind of being an island of one, having to go off and maybe do the right thing or stand on principle, and you might be the only one doing it, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, but you're doing that from your strong moral center. Okay, once you do that, you take that step, you break off from this. It feels like a big build up to take that step, but once you take that step, you're off to the races. There is no stopping you, Gemini. Okay, a beautiful Ace of Pentacles opportunity showing up once we go ahead and close this cycle, once we go ahead and get our minds focused on the fact that we need to let this go. We need to stop feeding this, giving our energy to this, because there's so much more out there for us, right? And as soon as you close that, the universe pops in with a beautiful Ace of Pentacles for you to show you, right? Confirm that whatever this was, it's in your past, okay? And there's so much more ahead of you. Justice, right? This could be a karmic loop, a karmic tie here that we're breaking, right? To a person, place, thing, idea. Okay. For some of you, this could also involve a legal matter, right? A divorce, selling a house, something like that. Okay. Eight of Cups, walking away. Once you walk away, lots of 8s showing up here, right? Once we walk away, that's it. And the past is in the past. There's no looking back, right? I love this. Beautiful energy for you, Gemini. We just have to do it. And you will. I have faith. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. We'll see you next time, okay? You take care. Cancer, how are you? Let's go ahead and see what the week of the 19th has in store for you. The World. All right. So whatever is ending here with that 10 of Swords, right? It's a major loop that wants to close for you, and that beautiful Ace of Swords wants to come through, right? It's just a matter of how do we integrate that? Are we able to let go of this? It feels like a mindset, a mind state. Is that even a word? A frame of mind, right? A frame of mind or something that's been really plaguing you for some time, okay? This feels big. It feels monumental, whatever we're trying to close out this week. Yeah. It feels like a core belief of who you are, of how the world is, right? Something that has shaped you into the beautiful Cancer that you are. Yeah, you're changing. Okay. Ace of Cups, the Devil, 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, Death, Knight of Wands, 5 of Swords. Yeah, I'm getting this idea. You don't say, Cancer. I'm getting this idea of we're holding on to this, right? We're holding on. There's a little bit of resistance that I'm feeling. And if it's not you, it could be somebody that's keeping you in this mindset. I said it again, state of mind. I'll just say state of mind. Okay, so if it's not you, it's somebody trying to keep you in this state of mind, either knowingly or unknowingly. And we're really fighting hard against that, okay? But there's this idea of we don't like when we do this. We don't like how we feel when somebody does this. Whatever that situation is, that's what we're speaking on and trying to end. And that's what I'm seeing on the board here. We want to start fresh. We want to close this for good, right? And I do see you trying to do that, but there is a struggle that's happening once you start to feel different. Perhaps you're starting to look different. Perhaps this ace is just starting to get nestled in. You're starting to feel a little bit lighter, right? As we release and let go of what no longer serves. And then bam, right? Either this person comes in or these thoughts start rolling again, right? It almost feels like a test for you, Cancer, of what's going to happen. How are you going to feel, right? Are we going to revert back? Is this gap really going to close? Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. So yeah, something wants to end. It feels very challenging for you, Cancer, right? To close the door on this, whatever this dynamic is for you. But Nine of Pentacles, I feel like I'm hearing, remember your reason why. Remember your why. What are you doing this for? Right? And I feel like that's what that Nine of Pentacles is there to show you. You're better off without this thing. You don't need this. It feels like a ball and chain. That's what I'm hearing, right? Ball and chain on your, holding you back from enjoying whatever state of mind, whatever you have, right? Being in the present, standing up straight, standing tall, because you should be, right? Okay, Cancer, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much. Let me know what loop you're closing here, because it seems to be a major one. I wish you all the best for this week, and always, we'll see you next time, Cancer. You take care. Scorpio, hello. Let's jump right in and see what the week of January 19th has in store for you. Ooh, coming out with a bang. Okay, this is beautiful. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition here. You know what it takes. You know what it takes. And whatever loop we're trying to close here, right, that every sign is closing with that Ten of Swords universal message, it's opening the door for something new. Oh, yeah. Love that. These cards are popping out for you. One more. There we go. All right. Interesting with that Five of Swords in the shadow. Hopefully that energy is on its way out. Five of Swords, the Moon, Five of Pentacles. Hopefully we're saying bye to that energy there. Bye, bye, bye. Let me just check my handy dandy guy. Just for the Two Kings, before I speak on this here. Minor Council. Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Especially with that Hanged Man energy here. So coming into your clarifiers, the High Priestess, clarified by the High Priestess. Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Hanged Man, King of Cups, King of Pentacles here. So we're definitely thinking about long term, right? Perhaps you're angling here or trying to gain some insight on some future decisions, or trying to envision your life like 10, 15 years down the road and trying to figure out what steps you can take now to make that lasting impact, right? You seem very focused here, and whatever has you fired up, you are using that energy productively, I would say, this week, and really trying to focus on setting yourself up for success in the best possible way. Doesn't mean that you might be fired up, doesn't mean that you might not face some conflict here, or something might be distracting you from doing this work, because obviously why would that Five of Swords be popping up, right, if there isn't some sort of conflict here? But whatever you're trying to put to bed, you're really, it's almost like this chapter closes and we are on to the next. We are focused forward, listening to yourself. For those of you that practice intuitive work or meditation, or for those of you that might even do tarot yourself, this would be a good week of listening, right? Your dreams might hold some powerful messages this week. Alrighty, Scorpio. So just pay special attention. All right. I would say Scorpios naturally, I find, to be super intuitive. I would say for this week, that sense might be heightened. Yeah, the Star and the Page of Wands, we know where we want to go. We know where we're headed, right? Our long-term destination. That seems to be top of mind here for you. So you're focused. And yes, okay, that Five of Swords, any sort of conflict, tension, right? Distraction might be popping up here, taking you out of this or trying to take you out of this, but you're laser focused. You are laser focused, right? You know what you got to do and you're doing it. But pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to any lingering thoughts here, any voices, right, that are coming through your intuition. Okay? However that shows up for you. Alrighty, Scorpio? Lovely. You're thinking long term and I'm here for it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. And we'll see you next time. You take care. Pisces, hello. Let's jump right in and see what we can see for the week of January 19th. Thank you, Hanged Man. And that beautiful Ace of Cups here. So trying it from a new perspective, trying to see yourself in a new light here, trying to gain some new insight that will help you in the long run. And I'm saying, or I'm hearing here, help you get back to you, or help you get back to where you want to be. Alrighty, Pisces. Ace of Cups stepping in. Yeah. Oh. Too many. Okay. Yes. 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 Hanged Man clarified by Ace of Cups, King of Cups, Five of Cups, Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, Four of Wands, Knight of Cups, with that Page of Pentacles in the shadow, and that Ten of Pentacles. How do we turn this negative into a positive? Is kind of what I'm hearing here, right? Perhaps something didn't end exactly the way that you wanted it to or had envisioned, or perhaps it ended and you didn't want it to end at all, Pisces, okay? But in fact, you've realized we're here, right? We can't do anything about the past. All we can do is change, rework it in our brain and see it from a different viewpoint. And I feel like that's really what you're working on, turning this negative into a positive here, and you're putting the full weight of yourself behind it, right? We want to be the best version of ourselves. How can we do that? How can we move forward and be the best Pisces we can be? And I see that. We're putting one chapter to a close and really focusing on what's next. You might not have it all figured out, right? But the fact that you're moving in the forward direction is great. And it does feel like there's a bit of honesty here, right? You're seeing the whole picture for what it is, right? And if you had any fault in whatever happened here, you're accepting that so that you know how to do better the next time. So it feels like we're being very honest. It feels like we're holding ourselves accountable here, but not getting too bogged down in the he said, she said, or letting this, like putting too much, giving ourselves too much hate, or giving anyone really too much hate. It's kind of like, okay, analyze the situation for what it is. Pick out from here how we could have done better, right? What we did really well, and how do we move on so that we don't do this again, or we don't find ourselves in this situation next time, right? We're learning here, and that's beautiful. It's almost like an end of shift report is kind of what I'm seeing here, right? Over the highs, there were highs. The highs were high. The lows were low, right? And what do we do for next time? The Moon and the Two of Wands. Yeah, what's next? What do we do for next time? right? What is next? There's so much opportunity out there. Ace of Pentacles showing up as well, right? So once we kind of solidify this in our brain and we open ourselves up just a little bit more, I do see that beautiful Ace of Pentacles wanting to come your way, right? We just need to open ourselves up to it. And I feel like that's your focus this week. That's what you're doing, right? Keep shining, Pisces. You've got this in the bag. I know you do. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you today and always. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time. You take care.